Please subscribe, like, and comment.
Hey everyone, and welcome to another deep dive into crypto. Today we're taking a close look at Bitcoin and this thing called altcoin season, where all the other coins might just explode in value. We've got three sources lined up. One's all about AI crypto scams that'll have you second-guessing every email. Then we've got one breaking down how Bitcoin's feeling right now, and finally one that looks at those altcoin season predictions.
It's amazing how connected all of this stuff is. AI is a double-edged sword, bringing in both opportunities and a whole new level of security threats.
For sure.
And to really understand where altcoins might go, we need to understand what Bitcoin's doing.
All right, let's jump right into those AI-powered scams.
Okay.
This Cointelegraph article says this is not your average phishing email anymore.
Right.
These AI bots are seriously changing the cybersecurity game. How so?
Well, it's a totally different world now. Imagine a hacker who's not just smart, but learns from every single move.
Wow.
And processes info faster than any human. These bots are like that. They use machine learning to analyze blockchain data, social media, even leaks to create hyper-personalized scams.
So they're gathering all this intel and then figuring out how to target specific people, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And they even pulled off that crazy infinite backrooms meme coin scam.
Right.
Stealing over $600,000 in just 45 minutes.
Yeah, that was wild.
That's insane.
They hacked the X account of the guy who made the Truth Terminal AI bot. Used his good reputation to hype this fake coin, and people fell for it.
Wow.
It just shows how AI can be used to manipulate the market.
So how are these AI bots actually going after people? I'm officially nervous now.
Well, the article breaks it down into three main types of scams.
Okay.
First, you've got your AI-generated phishing attacks.
Right.
But these aren't your typical click this link emails.
Yeah.
They can mimic platforms like Coinbase or Binance so well, it's hard to tell they're fake.
Wow.
Even for experienced users.
Yeah.
Earlier this year, a Coinbase phishing campaign using AI stole almost $65 million.
I'm definitely double-checking every URL from now on.
Yeah.
What else should we be careful about?
Well, then you've got the fake airdrops and giveaways.
Okay.
You remember when GPT-4 launched? And suddenly there were all these free OpenAI tokens everywhere?
Right, yeah.
AI bots create these fake sites that make you think you're getting something for free, but they just want your wallet connection.
Ugh, the classic too good to be true thing. I guess even in crypto, there's no such thing as a free lunch. What's the third type of scam?
This one's straight out of a sci-fi movie.
Bye.
AI-generated deepfake scams.
What?
We're talking videos of crypto influencers or CEOs endorsing fake investments, and they're getting so real that it's hard to tell what's real anymore.
Okay, now I'm really spooked. Is there anything we can do to protect ourselves?
Well, don't worry. It's not all bad.
Okay.
The best defense is being proactive, starting with being skeptical.
Okay.
Don't trust random messages, no matter how good they sound. Right. Triple check website URLs, and for goodness sake, turn on that multi-factor authentication.
Multi-factor authentication, got it. Anything else?
Well, knowledge is power.
Right.
Staying up to date on the latest scams is key, especially with AI always changing. It's like a constant cybersecurity arms race.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, let's move on to something a bit less scary, Bitcoin.
Okay.
Our AMBCrypto analysis goes deep on its recent performance, and it seems like short-term holders are feeling the heat.
Yeah, the article calls them short-term holders, or STH, for those who haven't held Bitcoin very long.
Okay.
The STH realized price, which is the average price they bought in at, is around $92,780 right now. Problem is, Bitcoin's been around $80,000 lately.
So those who bought around $84,000 are looking at some pretty big unrealized losses. The article even compares this to that August 2024 diff when Bitcoin dropped to $70,000. Do you think we're in for round two?
Well, it's certainly possible. Bitcoin's known for its ups and downs, like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
But, what happened in the past doesn't predict the future.
That's true.
To get a better idea of where Bitcoin might be headed, we can use the market value to realized value ratio, the MVRV for short.
Okay, the MVRV. Remind me what that is again.
Think of it as a way to gauge market sentiment. It compares Bitcoin's current price to the average price everyone paid for their coins. The article mentions that the MVRV has dropped from 2.2 in mid-2024 to 1.5 now. Historically, anything over 2 has often meant overvaluation.
So does that mean Bitcoin's a bargain right now with the MVRV below 2?
Well, not so fast. While an MVRV closer to 1 might suggest it's undervalued, it's just one piece of the puzzle. There are many other factors at play, and remember, this isn't financial advice.
Of course, always proceed with caution. But amidst all this talk of dips and potential corrections, the article points out how resilient those long-term Bitcoin holders are. They seem pretty unfazed by all of this.
That's an important point. Despite all the volatility, the long-term believers are holding strong. It suggests a deep faith in Bitcoin's long-term value. It's like they're saying, we've seen these dips before, and Bitcoin always comes back.
That's good to hear, even for someone like me who's still getting the hang of things. So what's the takeaway for someone thinking about dipping their toes into the crypto world?
Well, crypto, and especially Bitcoin, is not for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
It's a wild ride. But historically, it's rewarded those who can handle the swings and have a long-term perspective.
Buckle up and enjoy the ride.
Yeah.
Now, let's switch gears to that exciting potential for an altcoin season.
Okay.
Our last source, also from Cointelegraph, is giving us some promising signs.
Yeah, it seems like Bitcoin breaking above $80,000 has everyone buzzing about altcoins taking off.
Right.
But there's a key level to watch: the 200-day simple moving average, or SMA, at $84,000.
Oh.
Bitcoin's been struggling to get past it, and analysts are debating what this means for what it will do next.
Sounds like a crucial point. What are the different opinions?
Ryan Lee from Bidget Research says if Bitcoin closes above $81,000 for the week, it would be a sign of strength, potentially leading to even more gains for Bitcoin. But if it drops below $76,000, get ready for a wave of selling.
So $81,000 is the number to watch then. What's the other analyst's view?
Well, Timothy Peterson, he's a Bitcoin network economist, takes a look at history.
Okay.
He says that April and October have usually been good months for Bitcoin. And he even thinks we could see a new all-time high before June.
Wow, that'd be quite a comeback. So Bitcoin's future is a bit of a mystery right now. But no matter what it does, our Cointelegraph article points out specific altcoins that are already showing signs of life. This is where things get really interesting.
Absolutely. Let's look these potential altcoin stars. First up, Binance Coin, or BNB.
Binance, as in the massive crypto exchange.
That's the one. BNB is their platform's native token.
Okay.
It's used on the Binance Smart Chain, which lets developers build decentralized applications. BNB's fate is closely tied to Binance's success, and considering they're kind of a big deal in the crypto space, that's a pretty solid foundation. Plus, BNB has this cool deflationary thing built in.
Deflationary? You mean the total supply of BNB decreases over time? Tell me more.
While Binance regularly burns or destroys some of the BNB tokens that are out there, it's like a controlled bonfire, reducing supply and potentially boosting the value of what's left.
Interesting. So BNB is linked to Binance.
Right.
It's used on the Binance Smart Chain, and it gets a boost from being deflationary. Sounds like it has potential for growth.
Yeah.
What about Toncoin?
TO.
Yeah, or TON.
Yeah, TON. It's connected to Telegram.
Okay.
You know, the popular messaging app, though they've kind of distanced themselves from the project now.
Right.
What's interesting about TON is its role in decentralized finance, or DeFi.
DeFi.
Yeah.
That's another one of those terms I hear a lot. Can you explain it?
Sure. Imagine a financial system built on blockchain.
Okay.
Where you can lend and borrow money directly from other people, trade tokens without a centralized exchange.
Yeah.
And get involved with all sorts of innovative financial stuff. That's DeFi in a nutshell.
Okay, so TON is riding that DeFi wave.
Yeah.
And has that Telegram connection.
Right.
Even if it's a little complicated. What else is there?
Next, we have Render, RNDR.
Okay.
This one taps into that huge demand for AI, specifically decentralized GPU rendering power, which is really important for training AI models.
Got it.
RNDR is like a decentralized marketplace that connects those who need that power with those who have extra GPU capacity.
So it's like an Airbnb for GPUs.
Kind of.
Pretty smart.
Yeah.
Given how big AI is, RNDR seems well positioned to do well. What's the last altcoin on our list?
Last but not least, we have Cosmos, or Atom.
Okay.
This one's unique. It's not just one blockchain. It's a whole system of interconnected blockchains.
A whole ecosystem.
Yeah.
So like a blockchain universe.
Yeah.
That's a lot to take in.
Yeah, it's a big concept, but think of Cosmos as the internet of blockchains.
Okay.
It lets different blockchains talk to each other and share data, which is becoming more and more important with all these blockchains popping up.
Okay, so Atom is what powers this interconnected blockchain world. With all these exciting altcoins coming up, are we really on the verge of an altcoin season?
Well, it's looking promising. Bitcoin holding steady and these altcoins gaining traction. It suggests a potential shift in the market. But remember, it's always good to be cautious.
Right. No getting ahead of ourselves just yet. But this is exciting stuff. What's next on our deep dive agenda?
Well, we've laid the groundwork. explored the potential pitfalls and the promising signs. Now let's take a closer look at what could make or break this altcoin season.
Awesome. Stay tuned, everyone, for part 2, where we'll unpack those factors and dive deeper into the altcoin universe. Welcome back to our crypto deep dive. Last time, things were looking pretty exciting for altcoins with that altcoin season buzz in the air.
Yeah, but before we get too excited, let's break down what could make or break this potential altcoin surge. It's like checking the weather before you go sailing. You want to know what you're in for.
Okay, so what's on the crypto weather radar?
Well, the first thing, and this is the most obvious one, is Bitcoin. It's like the sun in our crypto solar system. When it shines, everything else benefits.
That makes sense. Bitcoin's price moves tend to affect the whole market. So if Bitcoin keeps going up, altcoins could be in for a wild ride.
Exactly. A strong and stable Bitcoin makes investors feel good.
Yeah.
And that confidence often spills over into altcoins. It's like a rising tide lifting all boats.
But what happens if Bitcoin takes a dip? Does that mean altcoins are going down with it?
That's a really good question. It's definitely possible, especially in the short term. A big Bitcoin correction could scare investors and trigger a sell-off across the board. But sometimes altcoins can do their own thing separate from Bitcoin, especially if they have solid fundamentals and exciting new developments.
So it's not always a direct link. There's more to it than that. What else should we be keeping an eye on?
Market sentiment is another big factor. It's kind of hard to measure, like the mood of the crowd, but it can really impact prices.
Okay, but how do we measure something like market sentiment? It's not like we've got a mood ring for crypto.
Well, we can look at things like social media, news headlines, and what crypto traders are saying. Are they feeling optimistic? Or are they feeling scared and uncertain?
So if everyone's excited about crypto, that could help push altcoins up. But if fear takes over, prices could plummet. It's almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. Positive feelings can create momentum and attract more investment, while negative sentiment can start a downward spiral. It's like a feedback loop that makes both the ups and downs bigger.
Okay, so we've got Bitcoin's performance and market sentiment. Is there anything else on our crypto checklist?
Oh, yeah. Don't forget about the ever-changing world of regulations. Governments are still trying to figure out how to deal with crypto, and their decisions can have a major impact on the market.
It's like walking through a minefield of rules and regulations while riding a roller coaster. What kind of regulatory news should we pay attention to?
Look out for big announcements from countries that are influential in the crypto world. Positive regulations, like clear guidelines and supportive frameworks, can really boost confidence and attract institutional investors, which is great for everyone.
So that's a green light for crypto growth. But what about the opposite?
Well, if a country decides to crack down on crypto with strict rules or even bans, it can stifle innovation and send shockwaves through the market.
Yeah.
Regulatory uncertainty is a big risk in crypto, so stay informed and be ready for anything.
It's like a game of crypto chess, trying to guess what regulators will do next.
Right.
Okay, so we've got Bitcoin, market sentiment, and regulations. Anything else?
Absolutely. We can't forget about the driving force behind it all, technological innovation.
Right.
The crypto world is constantly evolving, and any breakthrough that improves things like scalability, security, or usability can have a big impact on the whole market.
It's like a race to build the best blockchain, the fastest transaction, the most secure platform. So if some new technology comes along that makes crypto easier to use or more efficient, that could lead to a surge in investment.
You got it. Remember, crypto is all about pushing the limits of technology. It's where innovation thrives, and those innovations can create real value and growth.
Okay, so to sum it all up, our altcoin season forecast depends on how Bitcoin performs, market sentiment, what happens with regulations, and new tech advancements. It's a lot to keep track of.
It is, but that's what makes it so exciting.
That's true.
There's always something happening. It's never boring. Speaking of exciting developments, remember those specific altcoins we were talking about?
Yeah.
Let's dive back into what makes them stand out.
Yes. Let's get back to those potential altcoin stars. I'm ready for a closer look.
All right, let's start with Binance Coin, or BNB. Remember, this is the token that powers the Binance Smart Chain, which is a platform where developers can build all sorts of decentralized applications.
Right. And Binance is kind of a giant in the crypto exchange world, so BNB have that going for it. What else makes it special?
Well, BNB is actually useful within the Binance ecosystem. You can use it to pay trading fees, take part in token sales, and get access to different services on the platform. Plus, don't forget about that built-in deflationary mechanism we talked about.
Right, the token burning, it's like a built-in way to keep things scarce. But does that actually affect the price?
It's tough to say for sure, but it definitely adds to the story around BNB. Scarcity often makes things more valuable, and when Binance keeps reducing the supply, it makes people think BNB is a hot commodity.
Okay, so BNB has utility, scarcity, and the support of a major player. Let's move on to Toncoin or TON. What's its story?
TNN's got a more complicated story. It was made by the team behind the Telegram messaging app, but they've stepped back from it now.
Right.
However, TON has found its place in decentralized finance, or DeFi.
DeFi. Remind me what that is again. There's so much to remember in this crypto world.
It's basically a world where you can lend, borrow, and trade crypto without going through a traditional bank. That's the heart of DeFi, creating a more open and accessible financial system.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. So TON is part of this DeFi revolution.
Exactly. It's got fast transactions and low fees, which are super important for DeFi apps. Plus, it's got a dedicated community of developers and users who are building cool new DeFi projects on the TON blockchain.
So TON's got the DeFi thing going for it and a loyal following. What about Render or RNDR? What makes it special?
RNDR is all about using the power of the crowd. Remember how we talked about GPU rendering being crucial for AI?
Yeah.
Well, RNDR created a decentralized marketplace where anyone with a GPU can chip in and help render those complex graphics and train AI models.
So it's like a global network of GPUs working together. That's amazing. Who uses this platform?
Anyone who needs serious rendering power, from artists and designers to big studios and AI researchers, it's a win-win. Users get cheap rendering power, and people who own GPUs can earn something for sharing their resources.
Okay, so RNDR solves a real problem, and it's tapping into a growing market. What about our last altcoin, Cosmos, or Atom? What makes it unique?
Cosmos is tackling a big problem in the blockchain world: interoperability. Most blockchains are like islands, unable to talk to each other. Cosmos wants to change that by building an internet of blockchains where different blockchains can seamlessly interact.
So it's like a translator for blockchains.
Pretty much.
That's a huge goal. What's the benefit of being able to do that?
It opens up so many possibilities. Imagine moving your crypto between blockchains super easily, or having apps on one blockchain use data from another.
Yeah.
It could lead to a whole new wave of innovation in crypto.
It's like breaking down walls between different crypto worlds. That's a powerful idea.
And Atom is at the center of it all. It's the token that powers the whole Cosmos ecosystem, so its value is tied to how well this interconnected blockchain world does.
This is all incredibly interesting, but I got to admit, it's a lot to process. How do regular investors figure out which altcoins to put their money into?
That's the big question, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no simple answer, and we're not giving financial advice here, but I'd say the most important thing is to do your own research. Don't just buy something because everyone's talking about it.
So don't get swept up in the hype or FOMO. What kind of research should we be doing?
Take the time to understand the project, the team behind it, the tech involved, and what it could be used for.
Okay.
Look for projects that solve real problems, have a strong community, and are building something innovative and valuable.
It's like being a crypto detective, looking for clues and try to separate the good stuff from the bad. Anything else?
Remember, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Diversify your investments to lower risk.
So it's about finding that balance between being excited and being cautious.
Exactly. Crypto is full of opportunities, but there are risks too. By doing your research, diversifying your portfolio, and not investing more than you can afford to lose, you can navigate this world with confidence.
Well, we've covered a ton of ground in this deep dive.
Yeah, we have.
We explored the potential for an altcoin season, what could affect its arrival, and what makes some promising altcoins stand out. Before we wrap up, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the bigger picture. What does the rise of altcoins and the growing diversity of the crypto ecosystem mean for the future of finance and technology?
Yeah, that's a question that really gets to why so many people are fascinated by crypto. It feels like we're watching this massive shift in how we think about money, value, and even the internet itself.
It's definitely more than just digital money or trying to make a quick buck. The rise of altcoins is a move away from those old centralized systems and towards something more decentralized, more democratic. Each altcoin is like testing out new ways of doing things, whether it's governance, value creation, or how communities participate.
So it's kind of like the Wild West of finance right now, with everyone experimenting and seeing what works.
Yeah, exactly. And it goes way beyond finance, too. We're seeing altcoins used to build decentralized social networks, to create digital art, even to drive innovation in things like supply chain management and healthcare. It's crazy to think about all the possibilities. But let's be real for a second. For someone who's just getting started with crypto, it can be pretty overwhelming. AI scams, markets that go up and down like crazy, these complicated altcoins. What advice would you give them?
That's a great question, and I hear it all the time. Education is the most important thing. Take some time to learn the basics of blockchain, different kinds of cryptocurrencies, the potential risks, and the rewards. There are tons of resources out there online, even at the library.
So don't jump into the deep end without knowing how to swim.
Right. And be careful of anyone who promises you'll get rich quick or guarantees you'll make money. Crypto is risky, and there's no such thing as a sure thing. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.
It's like that saying, if you don't know what you're doing, you're the product.
Oh yeah, that totally applies to crypto. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't get caught up in the hype. Invest only what you can afford to lose, and focus on building a diverse portfolio of projects that you really believe in.
So find that balance between being excited and being cautious. And if you're ever feeling lost or confused, don't be afraid to ask for help from the crypto community.
For sure. The crypto community is generally really welcoming and helpful. There are online forums, groups where you can connect with experienced investors and get advice. You don't have to figure it all out on your own.
It's like having a crypto mentor to guide you along the way. Well, looks like we've come to the end of our deep dive into Bitcoin, altcoins, and the future of finance. What a ride.
It really has been. As we wrap up, I want to leave you with one last thought.
Yeah.
With AI on the rise, blockchain becoming more popular, and all these new altcoins popping up, we're really at the beginning of a huge change. What role will you play in this? How will you use these technologies to create a future that's more decentralized, more fair, and more empowering?
That's something to really think about. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive, everyone. We hope you've learned something, gained some insights, and are excited to keep exploring the amazing world of crypto.
Until next time. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep pushing the limits of what's possible.
Please subscribe, like, and comment.